It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Eugene Campbell, who is a professional international basketball player. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Just happy to be alive. Happy to see another day.
That's wonderful. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play professional basketball on the highest level?
I knew I wanted to play professional basketball at the highest level after my senior year of college. I felt like I could have done more of my senior year. I felt like I gave it my all, but I feel like I wasn't given an opportunity to give it my all. So it left me with a little bit of hunger after I finished my senior year. And I just kept working hard and grinding every day, trying my best to get to the next level.
What was it like playing for the New Jersey City University?
Playing for New Jersey City University was a very difficult experience for me, especially in the beginning. New Jersey City University is a very defensive-oriented team. They focus mainly on defense. And the school that I played, going to New Jersey City University, more about scoring and playing zone defense opposed to New Jersey City University, because we focused on doing press, full court press, guarding the point guard 94 feet. And the rotations were so rapid because the defense was so intense. So it took me a while to adjust to the different playing style for that school.
What was that transition like from adjusting to a different playing style?
It was very difficult at first. I was often yelled at practice a lot for not being in the right position, not being able to contain the ball like my coach wanted me to. So I had to do a lot of extra, working out, footwork drills, working on my speed, my lateral movement, and just working on my defense overall.
How did it feel like the first time you got to put on that green New Jersey City jersey?
How did it feel? It was a very humbling, very warm, welcome experience because, I'm from Jersey City. I used to live there. So it was cool playing for the college right next to my hometown. So it was like my family was able to come to my games because it was very local. And my whole family is from Jersey City for the most part. So, it was kind of like the hometown hero.
What was that feeling like of obviously playing in your hometown and having your family and friends so close versus obviously going to a whole different city or a whole different state?
It was very good. Like I said, very local. So, it's easy for, family and friends to watch your games from a live stream, but it's a better feeling having to see your family and friends up close and personal at your games. The support is definitely felt, and my family didn't miss a home game. So I appreciate them for that. Even if my mom couldn't make every game, my dad was there, or my cousin was there, or my aunt was there. Family definitely, showed up and showed a lot of love to my games. Even away games they came to. So I appreciate that.
Of course, during your college time, what were some of your biggest accomplishments on the court?
My biggest accomplishment on the court was I only played 6 minutes in this game at NJCU, but I was able to score 11 points in 6 minutes. And I was one of the top players of that game. And it was a wonderful experience. And it was something that made me work harder. Definitely for JUCO, my career high was 35 points and we won the game. So that was definitely a big experience for me. That was the first time that my JUCO team won in that court in a couple of years. So it was a big win and it was my career high. So it felt even better,
How was that transition like from going from JUCO to a university level?
It was very different. When I went to a university level, I stayed on campus. So I pretty much had to learn how to be an adult, 19, 20-year-old living on campus. I'm living on my own. I have a roommate now. The classes are a little bit more difficult. I got to work on my time management, got to fix my sleep schedule, got to make sure I'm not staying up too late because I got practice and games. And I also got class, got to make sure I'm in the cafeteria at a certain time, feed my classes, can't get distracted for too long, can't be in the game room playing pool for too long, can't be in the gym too long because I got class.
How is that transition like from coming from New Jersey City to getting into playing professional basketball internationally?
I felt like New Jersey City University groomed me to become a professional basketball player on and off the court. Not only when it came to basketball did I excel, but I excelled in the classroom too. I was able to get 3 degrees, an associate's, a bachelor's, and a master's degree in psychology. So I was always disciplined. I was always on top of my grades as well as on my basketball craft. So going to New Jersey City University definitely groomed me to play professional basketball because you don't only carry yourself as a professional on the court, but off the court playing at this level as well. So it turned me into a professional man, mature man.
How is it like obviously teaching the youth how to play basketball for the Central Jersey basketball?
It was actually pretty fun. The kids love me. It's definitely something that I want to go back to. I actually reached out to them, and it's something I want to do again this summer. And, it's a pleasure giving back to the community, especially with the basketball mind that I have and the knowledge that I have. And there's a lot of kids out there that need that type of foundation. They need that type of knowledge so they can, go to the next level. We want the generation to follow our footsteps and do better. So it's always good giving back to the kids. They're the future of basketball.
Of course, speaking about the basketball knowledge that you have, of course, how have you used your basketball knowledge and also your professional playing career to help the young youths?
I've trained kids. I've taught them things that, are not broadly taught, little things that matter, like the diet. I cut out meat in my diet 5 years ago. I tell the kids, meat is good, but, if you want to, cut down the inflammation in your knees or cut the inflammation down, meat, I'm not saying you got to take it out of your diet completely, but just watch how much meat you eat per day, try to stay away from pork. Like a lot of meat, it causes inflammation. So I just try to tell the kids to not only, excel on the court, but just also stay healthy because your diet plays a big role in your performance on the court. If you're eating good food, you feel better on the court, have more energy. If you're not eating good, then you're going to feel sluggish. You're going to feel tired, very slow. So I encourage them to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and just to drink a lot of water,
How has obviously your coaching, being a basketball coach, helped you into where you are now as a professional athlete?
It definitely helped me. It definitely helped me to see another perspective of basketball. It's easy playing the game and, seeing things from you being a player perspective, but you get to learn a lot more about the game when you're coaching and you're seeing things from another perspective, and you can learn from them, apply it to your game. So that was definitely a great experience for me to apply the coaching experience to my personal game experience, see things that I didn't get to see when I was playing on the court. So it was really cool.
Of course, what was that feeling like when you signed your first professional basketball contract?
I was lost for words. I didn't know what to say. I felt nervous. I felt butterflies, like, whoa, this is a dream come true. Like I've been trying to go overseas for the last year and a half, and I've been working every day, been checking my phone, see if anybody emailed me, checking my laptop, just sending out my film, emailing coaches, emailing clubs, and, just waiting for something to hit. And when something finally hit, it was probably one of the best feelings that I ever had. And I think about it all the time,
How is it like obviously getting to travel the world while playing professional basketball for the FIBA?
For what league?
For the FIBA.
Oh, FIBA. Oh, yeah. It's great. I get to learn a lot of different languages. I get to learn a lot of different cultures. I get to eat different foods from different countries, get to meet new people, build more connections. establish myself internationally, not only in the United States, but establish myself in the countries that I played in, because I'm not only out here to play basketball, I'm out here to network with the community as well, make my presence felt.
Of course, playing with FIBA, what are some of the things that you've learned?
I've learned that the rules are different from the United States for sure. There's a lot of things that you can get away with in FIBA that you can't get away with playing in the US. For instance, you can be in the paint for 3 seconds in FIBA. You can sit in the paint all day. You can even sleep in there. They won't call anything. America, you got to have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You got to be in there for like 2 seconds, then come out, or they're going to call it. So it's definitely some rules that I noticed are a little bit different. But once I started playing, I got used to it. I'm an adaptable person. Got used to the rules.
What was that like playing for your first international team?
It was a very unique experience. Actually really cool because one of my teammates was somebody that I knew before, playing overseas. I actually played ball with him a couple of times. He's from Jersey. And it was cool starting my rookie year off with a teammate of somebody that I was familiar with, somebody I was friends with. So, that made me feel comfortable. I was very hungry. I was very desired to be great. I was just determined to put up great numbers and get wins for my team. So it was definitely like a great experience, getting my foot in the door, making my presence felt, just out there trying to do the best I can.
How was that like, obviously, sharing that experience with your friend, with also being international players?
It was cool, a lot of laughs, a lot of jokes, a lot of experiences. It's a brotherhood being on the basketball court with somebody that, that's your teammate. Even the teammates that I met when I played in Moldova, they became my brotherhood for me. I still talk to a lot of those guys to this day. You build that bond, basketball with someone on the court. You build friendships, lifetime friendships, and it was a great experience. We all had fun, and we worked together as a team.
What was the transition like for you from traveling from Montijo to going to different countries and cities?
The flights were very long, and sometimes they didn't have the foods that I was able to eat. They had meat, so I had to take the ham out of the sandwich and eat the cheese and the bread. And the flights were very long, sometimes uncomfortable. I didn't have the luxury of flying first class for a 15-hour flight, unfortunately. So, I am 6'2", legs are kind of long. It was a little uncomfortable in the flights, but, I got through it, took some naps, played some games, listened to some podcasts, read some books, It was good, It's not something I would do every day, I play for about 5-6 months. I take the plane. Then 5-6 months later, I'll take the plane. I'm cool with that. I don't know if I could take a 14 to 15-hour flight every other day. I don't know if I could do that.
What was the transition like from you from going from Montijo to your next team that you played for, the Setubal?
It was, you're talking about the club that I'm currently playing for now, or the second club I played for?
Second club.
The second club was definitely a different experience. It was a lot more media for this club. This club was a little bit more higher. Moldova was a lower league. It was still great, but it was a lower league than the second league that I played in. And, the competition was a little bit more fierce, but it was nothing that I couldn't handle. I still had great numbers and I still had, a great time. The culture was a little bit different. The people weren't as friendly, but they were still good people. And the city was a little bit better. That's one thing I could say. Had a nice amusement park that I went to. We had a nice, beautiful gym that had an Olympic swimming pool, a sauna, hot tub. So I had all the resources to keep my body healthy with the recovery process after games. And I had gym access pretty much every day. So, I had the resources. The weather was cold, but, I'm from New Jersey, so I'm used to the cold weather. And it was definitely a good experience. Yeah, for sure.
Of course, what was that like traveling to Portugal and playing for Portugal?
Portugal is the most beautiful country I've ever been to. I love this country. I don't even want to leave right now. I'm only going to be here for about another month and a half, but I don't even want to leave, to be honest. The weather is nice. The people are beautiful. This is by far the best country I've ever been to, for sure. The basketball is great. It's very aggressive. Basketball is very aggressive here. They play hard defense. Unfortunately, I'm the only American on my team, so I get double teamed every game, but I'm still putting up good numbers, so I can't complain. It's all a part of the process. I wouldn't want it to be easy. It got to be hard. That's the only way we're gonna grow. So,
of course, with you saying you're the only American on the team, how has it been different than obviously having where not everybody can speak English and you have to understand what everybody's saying?
it was definitely difficult at first. I would say for the first couple of weeks, it was very difficult because my coach doesn't even speak English. Fortunately for me, the captain of the team speaks English. One of the directors of the team speaks English, and the assistant coach speaks the English. So, I was able to communicate with them and have them translate to the coach. There's actually about 4 or 5 players on my team that speak pretty decent English, so I was able to, communicate with them. But I'm learning the language, a little by little as the days go on, and I'm able to communicate with them a lot better, as far as basketball goes. Personal conversations is still a little bit difficult, but on the court, I'm able to communicate a little bit better, for sure.
Of course, traveling around the world, what is it like obviously being able to balance playing basketball, but also getting to visit the world and see different things that obviously the countries have to offer?
Well, I don't have two-a-days and I don't have practice every single day, so I try to utilize my off days wisely. I try to do as much exploring and sightseeing as I can for the resources that I have. And, I have a great club here. I have great people that decided to take me out on my first week here. We went to an island, we went to a beach, and I was able to explore a little bit of Portugal. I don't have a car out here, but, I got people out here that, that are part of the team that, took me around, showed me around to the capital of Portugal, which is Lisbon. And I've seen a couple beautiful sights around here for sure.
Of course, what are some of your favorite memories and moments in playing in Portugal?
One of my favorite memories definitely was about a week ago where we went to an island called Angro. We played against a team called Angro, an island. And, we played against one of the best teams in the league, had a hard-fought game. We lost. But after the game, I was able to go out with my team, my coach, and do some sightseeing. We explored the island, took a lot of beautiful pictures, took a team picture. It was a great team bonding experience. It was a great outing for us to get to know each other and to have some fun and just, connect. That was a great experience for me.
Of course, how would you describe your game playing professionally?
Well, I would describe how I play or just describe the games.
Describe your playing style.
My playing style is really fast paced. I'm a run and gun type player. I like to dribble, do a lot of moves before I get to the basket. Sometimes I keep it simple, but I like to do a lot of moves. I'm a pretty solid defender. I'm very athletic, and I play hard, and I can shoot the ball pretty well. I just play every game like it's my last, and look for my teammates when they're open, and when I have the opportunity to score, I score.
Of course, do you have anybody that you implement your game after?
My favorite player of all time is Paul Pierce, even though we don't play exactly alike. But I just always loved his game, and I always loved his tenacity and his competitiveness. He's the truth. He was always an underrated player that is one of the best players to ever play the game. I still feel like he doesn't get enough credit where it's due. He was able to beat Kobe Bryant in his prime for a championship. Not a lot of players could say they've done that. But definitely Paul Pierce. I get a lot of my game from Jamal Crawford, from what I hear, and a little bit of Chris Middleton. That's what I've heard. People see it better than I see it. But
of course, with being a professional athlete, what was it like when you created your nonprofit organization and your clothing business?
It was great. I always wanted to give back to the community, and my mother, definitely put it in my head to just start giving back to the people in need, giving back to the community. And I just started going out, donating, taking donations from people, giving our shoes and clothes to those in need in all types of weather conditions. And eventually I started building, and I have a beautiful team behind me. It's not just me doing the work. I have a team of people that have a social media chair, a president, a vice president, a treasurer, secretary, and we just started building. And, I have my fraternity behind me that definitely help out a lot. And our nonprofit is growing more and more each day. We're on to big things. We just launched our website yesterday. So I'll definitely send you the link to that if you want to see what we are about and what we do. And we actually accept donations on the website. So if you know anybody that's trying to, support a cause, then definitely do so at walkamilenourshoes.net, .org. And they have all the information of what we're about, all the board members and the community service initiatives we've done around the world. So definitely be on the lookout for that name. Also, my clothing brand, Different, is definitely making a lot of big moves in the community for the basketball players all around the communities, and got some new designs dropping for the summertime for sure. Especially when I get back, I got some big moves on the way, and we're going to be looking for brand ambassadors, and we're going to be in a lot of tournaments this year. I put my teams from my brand in basketball leagues. I put my teams in showcases, so definitely be on the lookout for Different. So we're making moves, man. Definitely proud of the success that I and my team have done for growing our brand. So,
Of course, how has it been able to be balancing being a professional athlete, but also having a nonprofit organization and a clothing brand behind your name?
Yeah, the balance is definitely my support system, my team. My team does a lot of work for me while I'm doing work as well, but I can't do everything at once. So I got people in my corner that do a lot of things behind the scenes that, I may be the face, but there's a lot of people behind the scenes that contribute to helping me balance out being the professional basketball player and the business owner. So I couldn't do it without them.
What's it like as a professional basketball player to see, obviously, your clothing brand on other people in these countries that you're playing at?
It's pretty good, man. It's a good feeling. It's just seeing the hard work that I put in and seeing that it's paying off, and seeing that there's people out there that support me in my journey. And you don't realize the impact of your journey until you start seeing people follow you and support you, because you're just going through the journey. You're grinding, you're going through the journey, you're not thinking too much of it. But then when you start seeing the support that you're getting, you're like, wow, I'm really impacting some lives. And it makes me want to go even harder.
What are some of the game day routines and rituals that you have as a professional basketball player?
Okay, shooting drill. So I got to make 10 in a row form shots, right hand, from 3 spots, 1 in the corner, 1 on the top of the key, and 1 on the opposite corner. Right after, I'm shooting left hand jump shots, 10 in a row, left corner, right corner, top of the key. After that, 1 leg right hand, 1 leg on my right foot, fadeaway jump shots. Oh, sorry. We still there? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One leg fadeaway jump shots with the right leg from 3 spots, and then 1 leg fadeaway left leg jump shots. And then I gotta shoot 20 mid-range shots from 5 spots, and I gotta make at least 20 out of 25. I know it's a lot, but it's my ritual, and I do it every game.
Of course, with that being a big ritual, obviously, whenever it comes to the game, is there times that once you not do it, it's like, oh, I'm going to have a bad game?
I try not to think about that, but when I miss a shot after not doing the ritual, I'll be like, damn, I should have just did the ritual, or like, I wish I had more time. That's why I always go to the gym an hour before I'm supposed to even be in the gym. That way, if it takes me longer than normal, then I could get it done. Sometimes I get it done in 15 minutes. Sometimes it takes me an hour. It all depends on the day. But I'm always the first one in the gym and the last one to leave. That's always how I've been. That's the mentality I try to keep.
What are some of your future plans in your professional basketball career playing overseas?
Just keep moving up. Just keep higher leagues, keep getting better, keep elevating my game. Stay on the grind, stay on course, keep motivating and inspire others while motivating myself at the same time. And hopefully one day I'll get in the Euro leagues, or one day I'll get to the G League. G League is definitely like not something that I'm prioritizing, but definitely I want to go to the Euro leagues. That's something I definitely want to get into. but we're taking it one day at a time. I played in 3 countries in a year, so I'm making moves, and just got to keep building. Just got to keep grinding. Grind don't stop. Just because I made it over here, this is the hardest part. The easier part was getting here. The hardest part is staying here. You know what I'm saying? Overseas, yeah, it's very hard to get there, but the hardest part is to keep your job, because if you're not performing at a certain level, they'll send you home. And that's a part of the game. They'll find another American that do what you're doing better. So you just got to stay on your feet. You don't want to get comfortable. You got to stay hungry. You got to have that same mentality that you had when you signed your first contract every time you play. So,
Of course, what is that feeling going to feel like, obviously, in the next few years when you do make the Euro team or the NBA G League?
it's going to be the same mentality, just a different league. It's going to be the same mentality till I die. Got to go hard. Got to give it 120% every day. The mentality is never going to change.
What advice would you give those college basketball players looking to play college basketball?
Stay true to the grind. Make sure you got your education to fall back on, because injuries do happen. Make sure that you are eating right. Make sure that you get enough sleep. Sleep plays a big role in you being healthy. People that don't get a lot of sleep tend to have injuries because they're not getting enough rest for their muscles to heal, for their body to rest. Just stay disciplined. If it's something that you want to do, you got to make sure you're doing everything in your power to make sure that you're on course for that goal. You can't slack, You just can't slack. It has to be a big mental thing. Basketball is 10% physical, 90% mental. You got to be mentally focused. You got to be mentally ready at all times. You never know when someone's going to call you for you to get a contract. So you just got to be ready. You got to stay ready so you don't got to get ready.
What advice would you give those future college basketball players that are playing now, looking to go into the same avenue as you did playing overseas?
Don't give up. No matter how rough the road gets, just don't give up. Stay true to the grind. You can't give up. You can't let others influence your decision. It's your life. Every decision you make is for you. You got to do what's best for you. Don't listen to anybody else.
What advice would you give those professional basketball players and even current people looking to go from either deciding if they want to go overseas to play or go into the NBA?
And just what leagues you're playing in. If you're playing in a really low league overseas, it's going to be hard for you to go to the NBA. They look at players who play in the top leagues in Russia, top league in Australia, top league in Puerto Rico. They're looking at players that play in the biggest of the biggest leagues, because there's former NBA players that play in those top leagues. So if they know that you're, putting up certain numbers against NBA players, they know that you have a shot in the NBA. They don't want to set anyone up for failure. They don't want to send somebody who plays in a lower league to the NBA. It's going to be a culture shock. They're not ready for that. Just making sure that they're ready. Just make sure you know that you're ready. Make sure that you're playing against people that are better than you. Don't play against people that you're better than. You're never going to get better.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram at I_am_Gene_Campbell. You can follow me on Twitter. I am Gene Campbell, all one word. And you can follow me on TikTok. The same thing. Every social media is the same. I am Gene Campbell. Definitely come up, and appreciate you, man, for real.
Thank you again, Eugene Campbell, for your interview, and best of luck in your professional basketball career playing overseas.
Thank you, man.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Eugene Campbell, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you, man. It's been an honor being on the show.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.